I'm going to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Panels, we as the government here want to impoverish the corruptors that has been stole billions or huge amount of money, which is they have to pay back more than 100% from what they've stolen, which is it could give the deterrence effect. We as the government believe that by giving this kind of punishment will prevent the other criminal to do the corruption. Why? Because if the opposition come and say that giving the rehabilitation to find out why they do the corruption itself, it is not going to bring deterrent effect, because people will think like, oh, these corruptors only get rehabilitation, then I will do the corruptors, I will only get rehabilitation. There is no deterrent effect if we only bring the rehabilitation just like what the opposition bring. We as the government just want to punish them to the point when they become regular everyday people. They still can feed themselves, they can find another job, they're not become totally unemployment. Ladies and gentlemen, we as the government just want to protect the poor people by using the money from the corruptors that has been returned by the corruptors to provide the healthcare, welfare, and so on. Because we believe that the money itself is used for the poor people, to protect them, to take care of them, to give service for them. So we as the government want the corruptors to return the money, to pay back the money, also going to give the deterrent effect for them. Because and also we as the government want the corruptor to feel guilty, to take fully responsible for what they've done. We as the government believe that the corruptors have sacrificed everything since they decide to do corruption. They already know the consequences that they will get. We cannot say the corruptors itself do the corruption, stand alone, do the corruption. We believe that the corruptors have sacrificed everything, their partner, their family, and so on. We cannot say the corruptors stand by themselves to do the corruption. We believe that corruptors do the corruption because they have the desire in themselves to do the corruption. They didn't think about another person. They only think about themselves. They are greedy. That's why they do the corruption. We believe that if we as the government follow the opposition, like they want the rehabilitation, they don't want to take anything from the corruptors, they still they want to protect the human rights of the corruptors without thinking about another people's right that has been taken by the corruptors itself. We are standing as the government that is bring no justice for the poor people. We believe that by leaving money, leaving power and resources for the corruptors, we automatically not deter them by give no consequences at all. We believe that impoverish them will show another people, will show to another criminal that want to do the corruption in the future, that this will prevent them to committing the corruption, because they will see the impact. The impact is big, not just only for the corruptors, but will impact the family, impact the environment, impact their family economic itself. We believe that this impoverish will not only give the deterrent effect for the corruptors, but will make a model for another people that will committing corruption in the future. Also, we're going to talking about the rehabilitation that has been mentioned from the opposition. We believe that rehabilitation cannot fix the problem. Why? Because rehabilitation is too mild, especially for the corruptors who stole huge amount of money. The corruptors are not sick, they are greedy. They enrich themselves with the wrong way. They take another people's human right. Why would we protect the human rights while they have take another people's human rights? We believe that this rehabilitation cannot fix the problem itself, ladies and gentlemen. This rehabilitation will just only make them feel like this is just an easy punishment for them. Corruption is not a mild problem. Corruption is a heavy problem. It is better for the government to take care of the ex-corruptors when they become poor, rather than the government take care of the problem of the corruption in the country. Because why? How the government overcome the losses that have been done by the corruptors? It is not worth it if the government work hard to overcome the losses, while the corruptors only get rehabilitation. Because the opposition think that the corruptors is sick, so they need the rehabilitation to find out why they did the corruption. Ladies and gentlemen, If we are not impoverish the corruptors, if we are not give them the heavy or the necessary punishment, then they could repeat the action again and again. Let's see. If you're not impoverish the corruptors, their family still could enjoy the money of the corruption. The family still could live in house in luxury places using branded stuff, while the poor people suffering because their money already been taken from the corruptors. So we believe that the corruptors, by sending the corruptors going to the jail, it is not that that worth it, because sending them to the jail, giving no deterrent effect itself. They're still going to the luxury jail because they have privilege, they have power. So we cannot bring any solution to solve the problem itself. Also, where is the justice for the victims of the corruption? We see the corruption still live in the good way in the jail because they have privilege, while the poor people is suffering. And also, if we follow the solution from the opposition by bringing the rehabilitation, it is just not solve the problem. We want to make a deterrent effect. We don't want to protect somebody's human rights when he or she already take other people's human rights. Also, we believe that we as the government impoverish the corruptors because they already impoverish the others. They already impoverish the poor people. We don't want to give them rehabilitation anymore because they are greedy. They are not sick. They are greedy. They have a desire to enrich themselves. They are not that sick they're not sick enough to get rehabilitation because it is too mild for them. They need something that could give them the deterrent effect, because we believe that even sending them to jail doesn't bring any deterrent effect. How is it possible for the rehabilitation to solve the problem? So in the end, there's no deterrent effect that brings from the opposition itself. So we believe that by giving the impoverished for the corruptors, we also protect the human rights of the victims, especially the poor people, because we give them justice. We give them, because they're already suffering, then we have to make the corruptors suffering. We cannot protect the corruptors. We have to protect the poor people. We're not looking for the justice for the corruptors because they're still human. They are not human if they're thinking about others people. They are not human anymore. We believe that. So if you're talking about the families is not including in that corruption itself, we are not ready for, we are not agree with that, because we believe that families influence someone. So there is no innocent in the family. Families affect someone. Families affects the corruptors. So we cannot say that just because your dad doing the corruptors doesn't mean that your mom or you doesn't know about that. You and your mom must know about that, but we cannot say that you and your mom is innocent because you are family. You affects your dad. You can affect your dad on doing or not, on doing the corruption or not. We believe that we cannot protect the corruptors family anymore, because we believe that the families influence the corruptors itself. So we as the government believe that we have to impoverish the corruptors because they already impoverished the others, and therefore proudly propose as the government whip. Thank you.